Good morning, everyone. Good tavach. Hope you had a wonderful Shabbos. Get some rest. Today is the 14th Perek of Yevamos. We finished Yevamos again on Tuesday, and we're starting Shuvos on Erev Pesach, which is Shem. Then we take a 3-day break for Yontif, and we continue with Shuvos on Sunday Chol Hamoed. Here we go. Today she is Lila Nishmas Aaron Namasafa Kodesh Morcha Bishep Sobrach Sarvash Malib Via Moshe B'Yosef. May the Nashos will have an aliyah. And before for Israel ben Rachaleah, Rachel Bas Pesach Zelda, Aaron Yisrael ben Risha, Chaim Bas Tababela, Fushtem B'Sel Shachal Yisrael. And as a schos for Avram Yeshua ben Gittel, take for Bracha Vatzlacha and all their endeavors, his endeavors. And special shout out to our dear friends at the Imperial Advisory Group for sponsoring Seder Nashim. If you need help with your CFO stuff for your business, please reach out to them at imperialgrp.com. Okay, here we go. Perek Yudalad Mishnah Aleph. Okay, we're talking about marriages between a deaf mute. And see where that goes. So Mishnah Aleph Cheresh Shenasa Pikachas. If a deaf mute man married a woman, Pikeyach Shenasa Chereshes, or a normal married man, a normal man married a deaf mute woman. Yotzi. If the husband wishes, he may divorce her. And if he wishes, he may keep her. Since the marriage is valid, it's kosher on the Derbanon level, he can remain married to her, but he can also choose to divorce her, even though he's a deaf mute, and his divorce is not valid on the Deraisa level. Why? Just as he can marry by gesturing his intention, because he can't speak, so you have to use like sign language and all those cool things. So too can he divorce her by gesturing his intention, also through sign language, even though he lacks the intelligence. So it's the same way in, the same way out. So next case. If a normal man married a normal woman, and afterward the wife became a deaf mute. So even though their marriage was kosher al pi d'oraisa, im ratzayotzi. If the husband wishes, he may divorce her. Although she is now a deaf mute whose actions are normally not kosher on the d'oraisa level, she may nevertheless be divorced because a divorce does not need her intent. Excuse me. And if he wishes, he may certainly keep her as his wife. Nishtatis. If the wife became insane after they got married, Lo Yotze, he may not divorce her because the Chachamim feared that this might lead to people treating her immorally since she does not have the awareness to protect herself. If the husband became a deaf mute or insane after they got married, he can never divorce her because a husband must have intent in order for divorce to take effect on the Doraisa level. And the intent of a deaf mute or insane person is not legally recognized on the Doraisa level. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri said, why is it that a woman who became a deaf mute can be divorced? But a man who became a deaf mute cannot give a divorce. A woman can only be divorced if she's able to understand what it means to be divorced. And if a deaf woman can be divorced, then it must be that a deaf mute is considered to have enough intelligence for matters of divorce. If so, a deaf mute man should also be able to divorce. The Chacham responded, on below, they said to him, a man who divorces cannot be compared to a woman who is being divorced. Isha yotza l'ritzona v'shelo l'ritzona. Because a woman can be divorced with her consent or without her consent. Ish ena motzi ela l'ritzona. But a man can divorce only with his consent. So therefore, he has to be of sound mind. Mishnah base. Hey, Rabbi Yochanan ben Gugoda. Rabbi Yochanan ben Gugoda testified about an old teaching. Al hachereshes is concerning a deaf mute girl whose father married her off when she was still a child. She only got to get that she may be divorced with a get, even where the get is given to her, and not to her father. You know, she's married on the derisive level. she may never, excuse me, she may nevertheless be divorced, even though she is a deaf mute, because her consent is not needed for divorce, and she may be divorced on the derisive level, even though she is a deaf mute. Okay, fine. Amrullah, the Chacham then said to Yerachel Menuri, Af Zub Kiyot Seba. This one, the wife who became a deaf mute after marriage, is also the same as the deaf mute married off by her father. Although her marriage is d'oraisa, she may be divorced since her consent is not required. Mishnah Gimel. Shnei achim chereishim nesuin l'shtei achayos chereishis charoshos. If two deaf mute brothers are married to two deaf mute sisters, or l'shtei achayos b'kachos, or are married to two normal sisters, but all l'shtei achayos achas chereishis achas b'kachos, or are married to two sisters, one who's a deaf mute and one who's normal. Or shtei achayos chereishis nechayreshis nesuos l'shnei achim b'pichim. Or if two deaf mute sisters are married to two normal brothers, or l'shnei achim chereshin, or are married to two deaf mute brothers, or l'shnei achim echad cheresh echad b'kech, or are married to two brothers, one who's a deaf mute and one who's normal. In all these cases, if one of the brothers dies without children and his widow falls to the second brother for consideration, are Eile Peturas min Chalitzah min Yibum. All these widows are pater from Chalitzah and from Yibum, because in each case, the widow is a sister to the wife of the second brother. She is ushered to him as an erba. And therefore, they lead the marriage without any other requirements. But if in any of these above cases the two wives were strangers, when they are not related, the second brother in each case should marry them. They perform by doing Yibum with the widow, since he's not an heir to him. And afterwards, if they wish to divorce the widow that they married, they may divorce her. But they cannot perform chalitza with the Yevamos, because in these cases either they or the Yevamos are deaf mutes, and the deaf mute cannot perform chalitza. Mishnah Dal, the last one for today. It's a long one. There are two brothers. One of them was deaf mute, and the other one was normal. And the Sulish de Achayas Pikachos were married to two normal sisters. Meish Cheresh Bal Pikachos, the deaf mute, who is the husband of the normal sisters, dies without children. Ma Yasapikech Bal Pikachos. What should the normal brother? What should the normal brother, who is the husband of the other normal sister, do? Teitzim Yishum Achos Isha. He does not do anything either Yibum or Chalitzah, because the widow goes out free from the Yibum on account of being the sister of his wife, who's married to him on the derisive level. If the normal brother, the husband of one of the normal sisters, dies without children, what should the deaf what should the deaf mute brother, being the husband of the other normal sister, do? He The deaf mute must divorce his own wife with a get because she's now ushered to him as the sister of his Yevamos. And his brother's wife is ushered to marry anyone forever. Cannot perform Yibum with her because she is his wife's sister on a derabbanan level. She can also not marry any other man because she's deraisa bound to him for Yibum. He cannot free her from this bond with Chalitzah since he's deaf mute. Okay, changing cases. Next case. Shnei achim pikchin, two normal brothers, nishul nishtei achas chereshes achas pikachas. They were married to two sisters, one of them a deaf mute and one, and one of them was normal. Meis pikeach bal chereshes. If the normal brother, the husband of the deaf mute sister, died without children, Ma yaseh pikech bal pikachas. What should the other brother, normal brother do, who is the husband of the normal sister, do? Tetzim mishum achos isha. He does not do anything of the Yibum or Chalitzah, because the widow goes out from the Yibum bond on account of being the sister of his wife. Meis pikech bal pikachas. If the normal brother, the husband, or the normal sister dies without children, Ma yaseh pikech bal chereshes. What should a normal brother, the husband of the deaf mute sister, do? Since his marriage to his deaf mute wife is only derabbanan, while his brother's marriage is deraisa, his brother's widow cannot truly be considered an heir to him. Therefore, motzi es ishto beget, he must divorce his wife with a get. She is now the sister of the Yevamos who's bound to him on the deraisa level, and she is there, and she is a bit usher derabbanan to him. And he should release his brother's wife with chalitza. He cannot marry her even because she is his wife's sister on a derabbanan level. However, since he's normal, he can do chalitza with her and permit her to remarry. Okay, shnei achim echad cheresh echad pikeach. Two brothers, one of them a deaf mute and one of them normal. The students they achayos achas chereshes achas pikachas. Were married to two sisters, one of them a deaf mute and one of them normal. So, meis cheresh bal chereshes. If the deaf mute, who is the husband of the deaf mute sister, died without children, ma yaseh pikach bal pikachas. What's the normal brother, husband of the normal sister, do? He does not do anything of the Yibum or Chalitzah since the widow goes out from the Yibum bond on account of being the sister of his wife. If the normal brother, the husband of the normal sister, dies without children, what should the deaf mute brother do? What should the deaf mute brother, the husband of the deaf mute sister, do? Since his marriage is only derabbanan, he cannot free the widow from her the raisa Yibum bond. Motzi ishto beget. He must divorce his wife with a get, since she is now the sister of his Yevamos and derabbanan also to him. The age is achi wasuli olam. His brother's wife is also to marry anyone forever. Next case. Shnei achim echad cheresh echad pikeach. Two brothers, one of them a deaf mute and the other one normal, and the students they nachrias bekachas were married to two strangers, two unrelated women who both of which were normal. Meis cheresh bal pikachas. If the deaf mute brother, the husband of one normal woman, died without children, ma yaseh pikeach bal pikachas. What should the normal brother, husband of the other normal woman, do? Oh, chalitz over yavim. He performs either Yibum or Chalitzah with the widow, because she was married to his deaf brother on a derabbanan level, and she is not related to his present wife. Meis pikeach bal pikachas. But if the normal brother, the husband of one of the normal women, died without children, ma yaseh cheresh bal pikachas. What's the deaf brother, husband of the other normal woman, do? He cannot perform chalitza with her since he is a deaf mute. Therefore, konis, he should marry the widow by performing yibum with her, since she is not related to his wife. But he can never divorce her because his marriage to her is kosher on a deraisa level. Next case. Shnei achim pichim, two normal brothers, nisu in the state nachios, achas pikachas, achas chereshes. Were married to two strangers, one of them normal, one of them deaf mute. Mace pikach bal chereshes. If the normal brother, the husband of the deaf mute woman, die without children, what should the normal brother, the husband of the normal woman, do? He cannot perform chalitza with her because she's a deaf mute. Kohanes. Therefore, he should marry the widow by performing Yibum with her, since she is not related to his wife. And afterwards, if he wants to divorce her, he may divorce her, since she is normal and she cannot accept her divorce, even though she is a deaf mute. But if the normal brother, husband of the normal woman, died without children, what should the normal brother, the husband of the deaf mute woman, do? Oh, Chalitz Omiyabim. Well, he performs either Chalitza, since both he and the widow are not deaf mutes, or Yibum, since the widow is not related to him. So, okay, last case. Shnei Achim Echad Cheresh Echad Pikeach. Two brothers, one of them is deaf mute, and the other one normal. The student Shnei Nachrius Achas Cheresh Achas Pikachas. They're married to two strangers. Two unrelated women. One of them deaf mute and the other one normal. So what's the halacha? Meis cheresh bal chereshes. If the deaf mute brother, the husband of the deaf mute woman, die without children, what should the normal brother, husband of the normal woman, do? He can't perform chalitz with her since she's a deaf mute. Kodesh. Therefore, he should marry the widow by performing Yibum with her, since she is not related to him. And afterwards, if he wants to divorce her, he may divorce her, since he is normal and she can accept her divorce, even though she's a deaf mute. But if the normal brother, the husband of the normal woman, die without children, what's the deaf mute brother, the husband of the deaf mute woman, do? He should marry the widow, perform Yibum with her, since she's not related to him. He cannot perform chalitza with her, since he is a deaf mute. But he can never divorce her, since the Yibum is the rice kosher, and the deaf mute husband cannot divorce Api the rice. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow for Perek test above.